Hello everyone, I am Mapwise, and let's get into Dev Diary number 1 for Europa Universalis V. Below is the first Dev Diary that was created on August 28th, 2025. In this, they discuss the population system in a condensed form that I will try to give insight into and present where a lot of these ideas came from within the Tinto Talk videos that they released prior to this. Along with that, I will connect it to the mechanics in EU4. The first information that we get is the start and end dates. These are 1337 as the start date and 1837 as the end date. That is a 107-year difference from the start date of 1444 and a 16-year difference from the end date of 1821 in EU4. This totals to 123 extra years of potential content. A concern I have is that most people do not play the whole time frame. However, given all the extra mechanics in this game, maybe that will be more likely to happen now. What do you think? I'm excited to see what ends up happening. This map below shows the population map mode. They first revealed this to us in Tinto Talk number 3 as seen in the banner of their introduction to the population system. For more detail, they greatly expanded all of this in Tinto Talk number 17, but for now we will continue on with what we see. The next important piece of information that they give is that each population unit, referred to as a pop, is simulated to have a culture, religion, social class, and potentially more given the location, country, etc. They discuss the possibility of promotion and demotion of pops from one social class to another. This also applies to culture and religion. Everything is in a flowing state which depends on laws, policies, values, and other decisions made by you, the player. Much of this is revealed in Tinto Talk number 17, as I previously mentioned. As seen here, we see their ideas about how this works. Think of promotions and demotions as in a social class related example of how well the economy is doing. A good economy that promotes success will find peasants more likely to be promoted, whereas an economy where trade is bad and the nobility isn't doing well, you'll find those pops being demoted into being peasants. Other ways, besides economy, might be their happiness. This is determined by if the pops have the materials that make them happy. This is expanded upon in Tinto Talk number 17, as shown here. Pops, as time goes on, will want more and more goods. This could be the introduction of tobacco when it arrives in Europe. It could also be the introduction of spices from India, as well as many, many other possibilities. This information also gets some inspiration from Tinto Talks number 8, 9, and 10, where they go into the detail about the economy, construction/production, and trade, respectively. Above makes the pops happy, but what really makes them mad is the lack of food, just like me. Peasants, though not rich, are what feed your country and are the backbone of what will make your country thrive. A lack of food means a lack of growth, military, and happiness all around. This is briefly discussed in Tinto Talk number 8 as shown. Luckily, you can buy food from other markets if you find yourself running low. You may also build, as discussed in Tinto Talk number 9, buildings that allow you to store more food. Something you might find to be a good idea to build before a hard winter comes. Next up, they bring up how events throughout the game, or situations as they refer to them, can affect this. The Black Plague, major rebellions, and natural disasters can all have major consequences on what happens to your country, and by extension, your pops. Plague can wipe out most of your peasants. What do you do when that happens? Hopefully, you have some money in your vault to buy food for the next few years so that your peasant population can recover. But what if you lose thousands of pops to a volcano as well? Can you recover and plan to use that new fertile ground even though you lost most of your working force? Learning is a major component to your success as a nation. A smarter population will research faster, which in turn gives you an advantage against your neighbors. Discussed heavily in Tinto Talk number 17, literacy is heavily influenced by your clergy estate. For more information on estates, look into Tinto Talk number 5, or, if you feel like it, watch my video linked above. You can also wait for the next Dev Diary, which covers government, politics, and estates that I will be covering next. Their goal for this system is to make each country feel different when playing, so that a culturally diverse nation that has different religions and learning levels will play differently than a country that doesn't allow much diversity. More cultures mean more ideas, but with the potential for revolts and unhappiness. A tight control on culture and religion means a unified front, but a lack of diverse thought. Down below, they discuss the map, which for a grand strategy game is very important. They go into detail on how they chose this in Tinto Talk number 2. If you didn't know what a Gall stereographic map is, well, you'll know after reading that. But what is important is that in this Tinto Talk, they discuss that they want to be as granular as possible. They don't want to be like EU4 where some provinces are huge and then others right next to it are tiny. They want to be a more natural progression while also giving as much granularity as possible. They go into this with their location system, which, while similar to U4, gives the granularity that they require given the pop system. Within that Tinto Talk, as marked below in the dev diary, they refer to how locations will have climate types such as Arctic, arid, etc., topography such as flatlands, hills, and mountains, and vegetation such as forests, farmland, and deserts. These will all have impacts on your armies and pops. A low vegetation Arctic mountain province might not be good for living, but it might be the perfect defense location for your armies if they can handle the environment and are supplied accordingly. As for the rest of this dev diary, they show some maps and discuss how many different map modes they have. Scrolling through, you can see some of what they have to offer. But as that ends what I have to say about this dev diary, I hope that this was a helpful snapshot of what this dev diary had to offer and that you learned something. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you next time in Dev Diary number 2 as we go over the government, politics, and the states. And until next time, let's all learn the Mapwise way.